Hello everyone, welcome to UrbanSubnet. On today's video we're going to talk about adding IP addresses to router and switch interfaces so they can have some connectivity between each other. We have in our topology here, you can see we have router 1, switch 1, and switch 2. I reloaded router 1 just now, so we're at this prompt, and we are not going to enter the initial configuration dialog, so we're going to type no, and then we get a router prompt, a router greater than prompt, so we're going to press or type enable, and then we get the router pound prompt. So from here we can do a show and show the IP interface briefs, and we're going to see that we have 7 interfaces on this router. We're going to configure interface FA00 and FA01. So let's get started. First thing we do is go into global configuration mode by typing config T, and then we're going to go into interface FA0/0, and we're going to add a description to the interface, which I always like to do. It makes it easier when troubleshooting or there's some other issues with the interface. We can see what it connects to. So we're going to type connect to switch 1. We just put that in there, and we're going to put an IP address. So we're going to do IP address, and we're going to do a /30 address for this interface. /30 connection or /30 subnet gives you 2 usable IP addresses. So we're going to use .1 on the router, and we're going to use .2 on the switch. The .3 is a broadcast address for that network. So we're gonna, I always like to do the no shut command on any interface I'm working on, and that has been done. So now we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do config. So config T means configuration terminal, just to give you the full description of that. And we're going to do host name. So we're going to change the host name of the router to router-1. And when we put this command in, you notice the router name has changed immediately to router-1. Okay, and our interface is up now. So we're going to do another show, and we're going to confirm the interface is up. So 0/0 is up. Our next interface is 0/1. We're going to go to interface FA0/1, and we're going to put a description. Connect to connect to switch 2, then we're going to do an IP address, and this one is going to be a /24. It just kind of give you an idea of the different size subnets you can use. The first one had 2 IP addresses. This one will have 254 usable IP addresses. So we're going to do 10.10.10.1 to 0. So these subnet masks tell you how many users or the size of the IP subnet. The other one was 255.255.255.252. This one is 255.255.255.0. So we're going to press enter here, and then we're going to do the no shutdown command, and we're going to come out of this, and then we're going to do show So we're looking good on the router. We got the two interfaces up and we have two IP addresses assigned to them. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to switch 1 and take a look at switch 1. Alright, switch 1 has 192.160.10.2, which is this is a /30, so we have .1 on the router, .2 on the switch. The interface shows us up, and we put the interface on VLAN 10. So let's try a ping test. And we can ping the router. So now on switch number 2, we see that the IP address 10.10.10.5 is on VLAN 20. So we're going to try to go to the router this time, and let's ping. Alright, so that worked for us. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to really quick configure an IP address and a VLAN interface on this switch. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is we're going to remove the current configuration. I'm going to reload the router. And it's asked us, do we want to enter the initial configuration dialog, which we're going to type no right here. And then we're going to enable. And now we're going to show to confirm our configuration is removed. And you can see now we have only VLAN 1 and our interfaces. There's no IP addresses assigned to this switch at all. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Fast Ethernet 01. Alright, we're gonna skip that. First we're gonna do host name. And we're gonna change that to switch-2. Great. So now we're going to go into interface FA 0/1. I'm going to put a description. To connect back to router 1, and then we're going to do a no shut, and then we're going to exit out of here. And now we got to create our VLAN and our VLAN interface. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do VLAN 20, and then you can put a name on your VLANs to help you identify them. So we're going to do name, and we're going to just name this one classroom. And now that VLAN is configured. So if we exit out of this, and we're going to do show VLAN brief, we're going to see we now have VLAN 20, there's VLAN 10, 20, and there's no ports in VLAN 20. Okay, so we will first, we're going to create an interface for VLAN 20. Interface VLAN 20. We're gonna, okay, so VLAN 20 interface came up. We can put a description on it. Classroom. VLAN that connects back to router 1. Next we're going to do is we're going to put an IP address on it. So you can see IP address. And this one we're going to do the 10.10.10.5/24, which is 255.255.255.0 subnet. And then we're going to put no, because this is an interface, so we're going to do the no shutdown command. Then we're going to come out of this and we're going to do and now we see VLAN 20 is configured. We see there's an IP address on VLAN 20 and we see that it is up and up. Our interface 0/1 is up and up. So we're going to do now ping 10.10.10.1, which is our router interface. And let's see what happens. Okay, so the ping is not working. So when you're in the office or you're on your job, you're employed or you're working with someone and they say, okay, the interface is not up, what might be the problem or what could be the cause of that? So we have an IP address which needs to be sent back to this interface. Even though they're directly connected, we need to enable a gateway on the switch. So we're going to enable the gateway on the switch. So we're going to do config T. All right, then we're going to do, let's just do a little help here. Let's do the question mark. And you can see there are numerous commands that you could start. You got crypto commands, you got enable, to enable certain things, you got the host name, you got the interface, you got IP, you got SNMP, service, router, just a ton of stuff here. But we're going to look at IP because we're looking to set an IP gateway. So we're going to do IP question mark and you see default gateway. So we're going to do IP default gateway and we're going to put an address here. So this is saying all of our traffic that is leaving this switch, we wanted to go out this default gateway, and that gateway address is going to be 10.10.10.5 for this particular switch. So we put that IP default gateway here. So now let's okay, so it's still not working, but what we're going to do here, let's take a look here. There's something wrong here that we're going to figure that out. So we're going to go back, and then we're going to do show VLAN. Alright, so our VLANs are there, and then we're going to do show VLAN brief. And we're going to see there's one thing wrong with our VLAN 20. Doesn't have any interfaces in it. So what we have to do now, we set the gateway, but what we need to do now is add the interface FA0/1 to VLAN 20. So let's go configure T interface FA0/1, and here you do switch port access. This is an access port. Because on here, switch to interface 0/1 would go down to a PC or some kind of device hanging off a switch port 1. So switch port access, and we're going to do VLAN 20. And now we're going to come out of here. We're going to go back and we're going to try our ping again. 10. Okay, now our ping is working. So we're going to try this again. Ping 10.10.10.1. and now the ping has worked successfully. So what we do after we get a working configuration, we're going to save our configuration with the right memory command, and the configuration is saved. We're going to go over to router 1. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to save our configuration, and the configuration is saved. Now in our next video, we're going to work on these inner switch connection links. You see the gig interface ports are up, but there are no configuration on them. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. I want to thank you for viewing and have a nice day.